Good morning, afternoon. Today I want to speak to the hearts of those who have ever felt unseen, unheard, or unworthy of love. This is for the women who have been overlooked, misunderstood, or left behind. For the women who have carried their pain quietly, masking it with strength because the world never offered them permission to fall apart. We live in a world that celebrates the loud, the bold, and the confident. But what about the women whose voices were silenced before they even knew they could speak? What about the women who gave their all only to be met with indifference, betrayal, or rejection? The ones who have felt the sting of loneliness even in a crowded room? If that is you, if you've ever felt unloved, I want you to know this: your worth is not determined by the love you've received or the love you've been denied. It is not determined by the roles you've played, the labels you've been given, or the relationships that didn't last. Your worth exists simply because you do. We often confuse being unloved with being unlovable. But hear me now, the fact that someone didn't or couldn't love you is not a reflection of your value. It's a reflection of their capacity, their vision, their journey, not yours. Still, I know the ache of feeling unseen. The way it chips away at your soul. The nights spent questioning if you are enough, if you'll ever be enough. The way you learn to settle, to shrink, to accept less than you deserve because it feels safer than risking another heartbreak. But let me tell you something about women, about us. We are resilient in ways that defy explanation. We carry worlds within us. And even when we've been told we are unworthy of love, deep down, there's a spark that refuses to die. That spark is your truth. It's the reminder that you are whole, even when you feel broken. That you are worthy, even when the world tells you otherwise. That you are deserving not just of love, but of the kind of love that sees you, honors you, and lifts you higher. I want to ask you to reclaim your story. Stop waiting for others to validate you or tell you that you are enough. That's your job. Start with yourself. Love yourself first, not in a fleeting, surface-level way, but in a way that roots you in the truth of who you are. Because when you love yourself, something extraordinary happens. You stop settling for crumbs when you deserve a feast. You stop chasing people who were never meant to stay. You stop confusing being wanted with being valued. Loving yourself doesn't mean you'll never feel the sting of rejection again, but it does mean that rejection won't define you. You'll know that your love for yourself is steady, unwavering, and always enough. To every woman who has felt unloved today, I invite you to rise. Rise in the truth of your worth. Rise in the power of your resilience. Rise in the beauty of who you are. Because you are and have always been enough. The idea that your worth is not determined by others' ability to love you means that your value is inherent and not dependent on external validation. Often we equate our self-worth with how others perceive or treat us. We may find ourselves seeking approval, affection, or acceptance from others, believing that their love is a measure of our value. But the truth is, no one else can define your worth. Others' ability to love you is influenced by many factors that are beyond your control, such as their own experiences, limitations, and perceptions. If someone fails to love or appreciate you, it says more about their ability or inability to love, not about who you are as a person. Your worth is innate. It exists regardless of anyone's opinion of you. You are valuable simply by being yourself, by existing, by your unique qualities, your experiences, and your contributions to the world. When you internalize this truth, you begin to detach your sense of self from the fluctuating opinions of others. True self-worth comes from within. It's recognizing that you are enough, not because of how others see you, but because of who you are at your core. When you understand and embrace this, it empowers you to live with confidence, to set boundaries, and to seek relationships where you are truly valued and respected. Being unloved does not mean you are unlovable. Speaks to the painful yet powerful truth that just because you may feel unloved or experience rejection, it does not diminish your capacity to give and receive love. It is a distinction between external circumstances and your intrinsic worth. Many people, especially those who have faced abandonment, rejection, or loneliness, can internalize the idea that they are somehow unworthy of love. The experience of being unloved can feel like a reflection of who we are, making us believe that we are unlovable or undeserving of affection and connection. However, this is not the truth. The inability of someone to love you, or their failure to see your worth, speaks more to their personal limitations, emotional capacity, or life experiences than to anything about your value. It does not define your lovability. You are inherently worthy of love, regardless of how others treat you. Being unloved is a temporary situation, not a permanent truth about your worth. There are many reasons why someone may not be able to love you: emotional immaturity, past trauma, fear, or their own personal struggles. These reasons are about them, not you. To recognize that you are lovable, no matter the rejection or hurt you've experienced, is to free yourself from the burden of others' judgment. It means you can begin to embrace your inherent value and open yourself to the love that truly nurtures and appreciates you for who you are. When you believe in your own lovability, you create space for the right kind of love to enter your life. Self-love is the foundation of your resilience, means that when you love and accept yourself fully, you build the emotional strength to navigate life's challenges. Resilience is the ability to bounce back from adversity, to keep going even when things get tough. But resilience doesn't come from external circumstances alone. It is deeply rooted in how you view and treat yourself. When you practice self-love, you nurture your sense of worth, compassion, and acceptance. You develop a strong internal foundation that helps you withstand the storms of life. Self-love means you recognize your value regardless of setbacks, and you treat yourself with kindness and patience, even when you fall short or face difficulties. Without self-love, resilience can become fragile. You may struggle to find the strength to move forward because you might internalize failure, doubt your worth, or let external challenges define your self-esteem. But when you love yourself, you understand that setbacks don't diminish your value, they are simply part of your journey. Self-love helps you approach life's challenges with grace. It teaches you to forgive yourself, to learn from mistakes, and to continue evolving. It empowers you to stand up after falling, to see yourself as worthy of second chances, and to keep striving towards your goals with confidence. In essence, self-love isn't about perfection. It's about embracing your humanity, accepting your flaws, and still choosing to believe that you are enough. This belief becomes the driving force that allows you to be resilient, to grow stronger through adversity, and to bounce back no matter what life throws your way. Stop settling for less than you deserve is a call to recognize your inherent worth and stop accepting situations, relationships, or circumstances that don't honor it. Settling often happens when we feel unworthy or when we're afraid of being alone or missing out, so we tolerate less than what we truly need or desire. When you settle, you're essentially telling yourself that you don't deserve better or that you're willing to sacrifice your happiness, peace, or self-respect just to avoid discomfort or fear of change. It's the belief that this is the best you can have, even if it doesn't make you feel fulfilled or valued. But when you stop settling, you're choosing to raise your standards and honor your worth. You understand that you deserve relationships, opportunities, and experiences that reflect your value, ones that uplift you, challenge you to grow, and help you thrive. This doesn't mean being unrealistic or expecting perfection. It means recognizing what you truly need to feel valued, loved, and supported, and no longer tolerating less than that. It's about rejecting anything that diminishes you, whether it's toxic relationships, unfulfilling work, or situations that drain you. By not settling, you give yourself permission to set boundaries, to say no when something doesn't align with your values, and to create space for what truly serves your well-being. You empower yourself to pursue relationships and opportunities that nurture you, and in doing so, you align your external life with the self-love and respect you have cultivated within. Stopping the habit of settling is an act of self-respect. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of the very best life has to offer, and that you are worthy of receiving love, care, and opportunities that reflect your true value. Reclaim your story and rise is about taking control of your narrative, no longer letting others define who you are or what you're capable of. Life is full of experiences that shape us, and sometimes those experiences can be painful: rejection, failure, loss. But these moments do not define your worth or who you are at your core. Reclaiming your story means acknowledging your past without allowing it to dictate your future. It means taking the power back from the people or circumstances that may have tried to label you, diminish you, or hold you down. It's about recognizing that you are the author of your life and you have the right to rewrite any part of it that no longer serves you. When you reclaim your story, you stop being a passive observer in your life and become an active participant. You decide what your journey means and how it shapes you. You choose to focus on your strength, your resilience, and the lessons you've learned rather than being defined by your pain. Rising comes from this act of reclaiming your story. It's not about erasing the struggles you faced, but about using them as a springboard for growth. You rise by embracing your full potential, even when others may try to limit you, and by making choices that reflect the person you are becoming, not the person you were. In the end, reclaiming your story and rising is about recognizing that you have the power to define yourself, regardless of past challenges or others' opinions. Your worth is not determined by the love you receive or the struggles you faced. It's about loving yourself, standing firm in your value, and choosing not to settle for less than you deserve. By embracing your journey, you not only heal, but you transform your pain into strength. Your story is yours to tell, and your rise is an act of embracing the truth that you are enough. In life, we all face moments where we question our worth, wonder if we are lovable, and struggle with setbacks that challenge our spirit. There are times when the weight of the world feels too heavy, when rejection stings too deeply, and when loneliness becomes an overwhelming companion. But it is precisely in these moments that we have the opportunity to reclaim our power, redefine our narrative, and rise higher than we ever imagined possible. The journey to reclaim your story begins with a fundamental truth: your worth is not determined by others' ability to love you. So often we find ourselves caught in the trap of external validation, seeking approval, affection, or acceptance from those around us. We allow others' perceptions and actions to shape our self-esteem and define our sense of worth. Yet this is a fragile foundation to build upon. The love or attention we receive from others is fleeting and conditional, influenced by their own experiences, perspectives, and limitations. When we tie our worth to the love we receive, we risk losing ourselves in the process. Your value is intrinsic. It does not fluctuate with the whims of others or the highs and lows of your relationships. Your worth exists simply because you are. You are enough right now, exactly as you are. This realization is the cornerstone of reclaiming your story. It frees you from the need for constant external approval and empowers you to stand in your own truth. However, recognizing your intrinsic worth is only the beginning. Being unloved does not mean you are unlovable. Many of us have faced rejection, whether from partners, friends, or even family, and it can leave deep scars. It is easy to internalize that rejection and convince ourselves that we are unworthy of love. But this is a lie. The inability of others to love you does not diminish your capacity to give and receive love. It is a reflection of their own limitations, not your value. When we experience rejection, it's natural to feel hurt and vulnerable. But it's essential to remember that being unloved is a temporary situation, not a permanent truth about who we are. It's important to separate the rejection we face from our identity. We are not defined by the love others give or withhold. We are lovable simply because we exist. Our capacity to love ourselves and others is what truly defines our ability to connect and create meaningful relationships. The more we embrace this truth, the more we learn to love ourselves. Self-love is the foundation of our resilience. Life's challenges are inevitable: loss, failure, heartbreak, and hardship. These experiences can shake us to our core and leave us feeling broken or unworthy. But resilience is not the absence of pain, it is the strength to rise despite it. And the bedrock of that resilience is self-love. Self-love is not a fleeting or superficial concept. It is a deep, unwavering acceptance of who you are, flaws and all. It is recognizing that you are worthy of love and respect, not because of your accomplishments or appearance, but simply because you are human. Self-love means treating yourself with the same kindness and compassion that you would offer to someone you deeply care about. It means forgiving yourself for past mistakes, embracing your imperfections, and choosing to show up for yourself every single day. When we practice self-love, we build emotional strength. We become more resilient in the face of adversity because we are anchored in the knowledge that we are enough, regardless of external circumstances. Self-love allows us to face life's challenges with courage and grace, knowing that we are capable of navigating through them, no matter how difficult they may seem. It is the fuel that keeps us moving forward when everything else might seem to be falling apart. But even as we build our resilience through self-love, we must also stop settling for less than we deserve. So often we tolerate situations, relationships, and opportunities that diminish us because we fear we won't find anything better. We settle because we think we're not worthy of more, or we convince ourselves that this is the best we can have. But settling is an act of self-betrayal. It is a refusal to honor your worth and to demand the best for yourself. When we settle for less, we silence our inner voice that knows we deserve more. We suppress our desires, our needs, and our dreams in order to avoid conflict, disappointment, or the discomfort of change. But by doing so, we deny ourselves the possibility of true fulfillment and growth. You deserve love that nurtures your soul, relationships that elevate you, and opportunities that challenge and inspire you. Stopping the habit of settling begins with recognizing your own value and setting boundaries that honor that value. It means refusing to accept anything less than what aligns with your worth. It is about saying no to toxic relationships, unfulfilling work, or situations that drain your energy. When you stop settling, you create space for what truly serves your well-being, and in doing so, you open the door to the kind of life you've always dreamed of. But even more than this, reclaiming your story and rising is about taking ownership of your life. Life does not happen to us, it happens with us, through us, and for us. The experiences we go through are part of our journey, but they do not define us. When we reclaim our story, we stop allowing the past or the judgments of others to dictate who we are or what we can become. Instead, we take charge of the narrative. We rewrite the chapters that no longer serve us and choose to move forward with a sense of purpose, power, and pride in who we are becoming. Reclaiming your story means embracing the challenges you faced and using them as stepping stones rather than stumbling blocks. It means understanding that the difficult moments in your life have shaped you, but they do not define you. You have the power to rise above your circumstances and create a future that reflects the truth of who you are. Rising is not about denying the pain or pretending that everything is perfect. It is about acknowledging the struggle, learning from it, and choosing to rise stronger, wiser, and more determined than ever before. As you reclaim your story, you reclaim your power. You reclaim the right to be the author of your life. You rise not because the world is perfect, but because you understand that your worth is constant, your love is unwavering, and your resilience is unbreakable. You rise because you know that you are enough, just as you are, and you will no longer settle for anything less than the life you deserve.